we're here. We are. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to this morning's meditation. And we are tracking in, this is some midnight flame energy. It's a midnight flame technique. If we're tracking on the temples and the Metatron code, it would fall under code 3, technically. And that is all about harnessing. Really, technically, it's getting into power and your gifts and what mythology is there and present. But really, the technique that we're working with here is inversion. And so, so exciting to sync and to connect with this inversion because it is deep, deep, deep feminine. It doesn't get any more powerfully into the like the womb, if you will. The if we don't want to think of it in feminine terms, like that inflection point between like 0 point, which is more of a scientific or a quantum term. I don't like, a lot of people have orientation or reference points, but even that is a filter. But there is this inflection where we can drop in and through, not even the veil, but just this inverter. We have an inverter inside of us. And so the inversion, when we do the inversion, it's our ability to flip or invert a field of energy. And we all harness this power. Some are better at it than others. But what does an inverter do? It's where we are reversing a flow of energy. I believe, I'm going to get this wrong, but I believe in like power sense. It's like we go from like, say, a 9 volt to we're inverting the direction of flow, which switches the voltage. So I'm sure I butchered that, but in our system, it's reversing spin, right? It's shifting how the energetic is flowing. So with that being said, it feels good. It's what allows us to access energetics within our system that we wouldn't ever be able to access or tap into otherwise. And the only way we can get there is through the feminine, because we're accustomed to and we're hardwired for running masculine at this point in time. So we're going to do it today. Pretty exciting stuff. Let's go ahead and take a nice deep breath in and an even bigger exhale out. And another nice deep breath in. And an even bigger exhale out. And today is all about just feeling the feels, feeling the field. Because as much as I want to speak and talk to you about this, it is going to be your superconscious, your metatronic mind that is following not even my words, but the frequency that starts to come through the field. So your mind really gets to take a back seat in today's meditation and just follow the field and the flow and whatever imagery is present. And if you clock out, awesome. Like, just trust the process. Come back later and listen in and let your mind build the neuroplasticity. Do it a couple times and play around with the exercise itself. So with that, we're going to start, as we always do, with our light link. Go ahead and send that beautiful stream of consciousness and connection up to the sun. Reach it out if you feel like reaching your arms up as well and tilting your head up and opening your entire field to just feeling sunshine pouring in. Like I said, we are, as we were warming this up, preparing for Lionsgate. That is peak pinnacle sunshine, getting ready for our Leo season. Bright, bright, bright illumination. Let your face be blasted. Let yourself look like my teenagers that have been coming home off of the water and the beach with that brilliant red sunburn on their cheeks and under their eyes, the glowing skin. Let yourself feel that. There's something even though the sunburn isn't necessarily good, I feel like sometimes there is, not like a dangerous one, but just like that glow that comes from having taken in so much sunlight that your body and your skin starts to emit it. It feels so vibrant. Let's just charge our systems up with all of that sunlight right here, right now. And then from the overflow, instead of feeling it not only glowing off of the skin, like I brought us all into, let it pour, direct some of that sunlight down your spine, into the throat. Let's play with the throat for a moment. Imagining a nice big gulp of honey. That should cue us up for the divine feminine really nicely. Just stay here for a moment. We're not going to rush by this. Notice the moment we shifted to honey, how everything slowed way down. If you're still rolling on that sunshine pace, feel that distinction, right? Like with the sun, it was like a little bit quicker tempo, right? The moment you really get your feel to shift into honey and to be able to, I want you to really imagine tasting it. Pretend that you can feel it dripping down your throat, encoding all of your throat, like gulping to the point it's like a gulp down your throat and landing in your tummy. And maybe it's a drip, drip, drip. Just give it a moment and notice how, as we do that, the tempo slows a little bit. Feel that tempo shift. This field is going to be a big tempo shift. And I've got some big midnight flame carriers here on this call. I'm always talking about we're here co-creating, and they're already going there with me. They're jumping way ahead. But I want us to really enjoy this, because oftentimes we jump in and we do an inversion, just like snap the fingers like that. We're here to like deliciously play with this inversion today, right? We're going to feel the inverter come on. We're going to feel the inversion happening. So feel for everyone, as we take our time, this deliciousness and the nuances. That's the distinction here. I want you to be really curious about the nuances and the subtle shifts as we move through these fields that you're feeling, lots of in your body. And be curious about it. If you feel yourself, or you find, if you find yourself going to like your mind and the thoughts, just observe that and then come back and feel into the sensation of like the mind wanting to spin, and where your body is trying to draw you in, and how the mind may be trying to keep you above the surface. Again, we're going deep into the body today, deep into the deep field, and that's okay. Again, I want you playing with all of these different distinctions. I'm going slow on purpose, so hang with me. All right, coming back to the spine. I'm going to speed it up again. We want to bring that high volume sunshine, that high tempo sunshine, feeling it like turning the faucet on, drip, 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 drip through the brain. Like we're squeezing out and cleaning the sponge of the mind. So give it a couple squeezes as though it's filled up with water. Squeeze it out. Let it get until you see nothing but crystalline, clear, golden light pouring through the mind and down the spine, all the way down the spine. Nice deep breaths in here, and just let it pour through. And as it comes through the spine, you may even feel it filtering out almost through I'm going to say the back of the wings. You may notice it's like it's in the back of the lungs, as though it's filling up the back of the lungs, but it's actually the back of the heart chakra. The heart chakra is conical. It's like a funnel, forward out, opening cone, and then tighter in the center, and then opening cone in the back. And that energy center is like, that's what we think of as our wings. And the bigger those wings get, the bigger that heart chakra is able to open. And so in this moment, just feeling that water pouring through, and almost as though like tributaries or capillaries, I think that's the right term, arteries, right? You can feel that water pouring out like as the wings were there. And I can see that golden light. If your wings had blue light going through them, like veins, I can also see like blood, like capillaries, arteries, where the red would be. That's what we'll say, as gold. And let it go out so that it's almost like through the wings, water, that golden water is spraying out the tips, and let it really flush out the top of the wings, all the way down the side of the wings, and where it feels really congested and like we have a lot of dirt and debris to clear is at the bottom of the wings. So turn the faucet up, let it run. It feels like we maybe are passing a kidney stone. Like it's like, if you feel into it, it maybe feels kind of uncomfortable. And so this is golden light. It dissolves. Like think of it more as like an acid just coming through, like a vitamin C, dissolving whatever density is in those wings so that they're no longer tied. Some of you have the lower part of your heart chakra tied to your spine. It's like it's interesting sensations today, guys. This is fascinating. I've never seen some of these dynamics, but it's relevant today. It's like the lower part of these wings have been stitched with leather or wire cords down the side or the verticals of the spine. So release them, let it go, and let those wings, there's like shafts down the bottom of the wings and toothpicks almost that we could pull out, vertical support structures we could pull out of them. This, oh, yep, this is coming. Actually, it feels like they're coming out the side of the spine, but we're actually pulling it out of the wings. You guys have some interesting dynamics that are releasing through the heart chakra as we open this midnight flame. It's amazing when we allow the divine mother in this field to hold us, and we hand our energy over to her because she is us and we don't hold responsibility for it. What shows up? So much fun. I love finding new little elements and nuances to our energy field, all these different layers. Oh, that feels good. Nice big sigh. Everybody just opened, like everyone's spine should be feeling like super limber and loose, like Gumby, right? Like no more need to like crack the gel stick open. I always say that. It's like we're cracking one of those glow sticks open. Lots of burping probably coming up through the field. Okay, we are ready for our inversion. We didn't even get to the second part of our light link. Do you notice that? We've been working all of this just off of the golden light. So I want to execute second part of our light link, and this is going to take us right into our inversion. So we're going to go for it big time right here, jumping in off the diving board. Want you to feel your feet landed. We will come back to the wings. They're going to be the final part of our sequence today. Feet, imagine them on the grass. We can start with grass in your backyard or just outside. And then I want you, living in Florida, we have this bimini grass. And it is like golf course grass that is So soft, so super short. You could sleep on it. It is like a pillow. It is exquisite. Um, I want everyone to pull up that Bimini grass in your mind's eye as you shift out of your own grass. We also have like sawgrass, which is like just that's what I have in my backyard. I don't have the Bimini grass yet. Pull up that shifting between the sawgrass and the Bimini grass. I grew up in Wisconsin where we had also amazing, really soft, like, oh, it's like carpet. You could just walk on it. Feels so good. But no, we're gonna go with Bimini grass today, like course putting green style for those of you who don't know Bimini grass. And just feeling that under your toes. If you have never stood on a course putting green and you don't know Bimini grass, just imagine the nicest, softest, most buttery grass underneath your feet. Beautiful. And just wiggle your toes into that. And as you do, I want you to begin to hear the sounds of a waterfall over to your right. Nice deep breath in. And as you look around, you notice that the grass that is underneath your toes, you're actually sitting on a beautiful bench in a quiet sanctuary, a lush tropical garden. And before you is, to the right is the waterfall, and before you is the most exquisite, I want to call it a reflection pool, but it's not a reflection. It's like lake. It's not a lake though. It's a pond. Um, yeah, it's like your own private, crystal clear um, swimming hole, if you will, that this waterfall falls into. And next to you are these delicious smelling. I'm going to say for me, it's like it's a TRA, which is out of the South Pacific. Here in the States, it'd be like a jasmine, not quite, but more closer to like a jasmine flower. Um, but for you, it may be different. It may be a pink, something pink. Anyway, this lush tropical oasis that we are in. It's private, tall trees. Ooh, lots of birds. I can hear some birds in the trees. Somebody just pulled in some Costa Rica. I feel like I just got some Costa Rica vibes with some monkeys in the trees. Hmm. Really, really beautiful. But private, definitely private. I want everyone to focus in on that waterfall for a moment and not go to it, but just walk to the shore of our beautiful pool of water, this crystal clear water. And as you gaze at it, it's got an aqua kind of color to it. And you may not see this, just so you know, like it doesn't matter if you actually are seeing this, but I know you know what these things look like. So it doesn't, all of that doesn't matter. Just let the images or however you experience what I'm describing come to you. If it's the scent or the sounds, awesome. I want to have you focus in for a moment on the sensation of the roar of the waterfall. No one can stand next to a waterfall without feeling its thunder, its vibration as the water pours down. I want you to feel that rooting in to your system. And as you imagine it, we could also imagine it like thundering into your root, right? Like we were working the wings kind of on the back. You could feel this thundering through into really your earth chakra and beyond, if we're going to get technical about where this is. and imagining that waterfall just flushing all that out. You don't need to get technical, but just feeling it in your body, feeling its vibrations in your body. And taking a couple breaths. And as you do, feeling its dimensionality opening up. And as we feel that and gaze into the center of our reflection pool, this pool of water before us, it has a beautiful aquamarine. And like, for me, it's a nice white sandy bottom. And I want to like step in till I'm about ankle to mid calf deep. And as I gaze to the center becomes deeper and darker. And that's a good thing. And in just a moment, we are going to dive in. So just breathing all this in. We're going to count backwards from 3. And I want you to like really build this up in your mind. I promised we were doing our inversion slow today. So if you're sitting here waiting for me to give the count, take in and be curious about your environment. What does the water feel like? This is a veil. This water is a veil. And we're about to dive into it. All right. Are we ready? As we prepare to dive, I want you to not only feel the thunder of the waterfall, I want you to find your own heartbeat and let it sync with the thunder of the waterfall. A boom, boom, boom. Really feel as you begin to focus in on that dive point that you're going to target. We are swimming down to the bottom of this pool and beyond. We're not coming back up. So in 3, and you're just going to focus on that sound and that sensation. 2, and then you're just going to go for it in 1. Diving in, plunging, feeling the cool water flashing across your face as you dive down, down, down. Your job, focus on that pulse, on that signal of the heartbeat as you release your body, release sensation of the body. It may be that you only experience darkness, 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 or the boom, boom, boom. Let it get darker. Just keep diving in. And it may get like really black and murky. I want you to go for it. You may even find there's like some nasty black things that are reaching up for you. Grab them back. Like, go for it. Dive into the darkness. There are these different false layers of tar and junk and everything else. And it may feel like they're sucking you in before you pierce through. You could think of those false layers of tar like if you're building a like false field or a field, or in Florida we put mats like plastic down to keep weeds from growing through. Pierce through it, pierce through that field, pierce through that plastic layer, that tarry stuff down there in the bottom. You guys have the skills, like bring some light out of your hand, punch through it and go again and find that signal, the boom, 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 boom. You may have to do this a couple of times. Keep diving deeper and deeper and deeper. There may be 15 layers of false tarps that you've got to dive through, but keep going and going and going and going. Just keep going. You're looking for a field that doesn't feel like it's reaching for you or like you can hit a false bottom with it. You want to get sucked like a vacuum You're going to feel yourself all of a sudden getting pulled in like a pool drain that is just sucking you down and in, like you can't escape it. And that's how you're going to know that you're in the right spot. It's just all of a sudden you're going to feel this pull, and you're going to feel yourself getting pulled out of your body where you're no longer having to swim and to fight to get down and punch through. Keep going, keep swimming, keep going. Let your body, like you're being pulled out of all of the layers of your body and your system. Nice deep breaths in, keep diving, keep going. It's like layers of I always say we have Russian energy nesting dolls around us, multiple layers. Keep allowing those layers to be peeled back, peeled back. And at a certain point, there's a little tiny keyhole down at the bottom, and it's going to look black. It's actually not going to be illuminated. And you're going to like just slip into that tiny, tiny, tiny little black hole all the way down at the bottom. You're going to slip through that, and it's dimensionally going to be like, there's no way my human self could do that. And your human self doesn't need to, because it's just you and your soul stream sliding right on through that. And you're going to thread the eye of that needle and pass through, and you're going to start to spin and spin and spin and spin, except spin. Are we spinning? But he started to spin clockwise, which is really interesting. Keep going. Keep going in. Oh, I see what you did. All right, we're spinning clockwise. Nice deep breaths in. All right, nice deep breaths in. Everybody's spinning in and through, passing through that little portal, that little keyhole. It should be all dark in here. And in just a moment, I want you to envision like a tube sock, that if you're in the full tube sock, right? Like, this is going to be a little bit hard analogy, but if you were in the sock and the sock was you and your human body, you're, now that you've passed through that hole, going to empty out the sock. So it's like you're going to invert the sock, you're going to pull it inside out, like you've emptied it out. You've like reached your hand in and emptied your soul out of the sock. It's like if we were on the opposite side of Earth, it's like you, as your higher self, reached into your body, grabbed your soul, and pulled it out. A weird analogy. And as you do that, you're going to feel everything go still and just start to spin the other direction. Or just allow yourself to find a stillness. Pause. You don't have to worry about my sock analogy if you don't want to. Hold yourself still here in the darkness and just focus on that. And notice how actually what's happening for me is like all of this extra debris is floating off into space, into the darkness. And when you're ready, start spinning yourself in a counterclockwise direction. Counterclockwise direction. If you hadn't already. If you were going counterclockwise, toggle back and forth between the two directions. Spin it up clockwise and counterclockwise. I'm going to trust all of you to navigate this stillness and this toggle. But if it's your first time spinning in this moment in the opposite direction, I want you just to focus on that single direction. Again, feeling yourself going counterclockwise continuing to spin counterclockwise. And as you do, continuing with the counterclockwise, you're going to notice that a light begins to emerge in the darkness. Nice and slow rhythm. If you think back to the sun and the tempo, when we first called into this tempo now, it is like, whoa, whoa, boom. Huge distinction. Feel that as you're spinning infinitely, you're actually spinning infinitely fast in the counterclockwise direction, but the earth pace for it is really slow. Nice deep breaths in here. Focusing out. There is a light out there, a star, looking for that brilliant, bright white light. This is what had been vacuuming you in, sucking you in, drawing you through that keyhole. Go ahead and find that. Let yourself be immersed as it like tractor beams you in, becoming immersed in that all white light. And just drink that in, breathing in and out the heart of the mother, heart of your blueprint, the heart of your source, through the greatest degree of density, the truth. You're free. In this moment, allowing your system to calibrate to this. This is your true operating system, your true blueprint as we hold this field. And this is your true projection point, actually, like this is, as we sit in this light, if you were to turn around and look back and rewind everything we've just done in the last however many minutes, this is the point. If you think of a movie reel that has the light and then the film spins across it, everything we just did was the film spinning across it. This is observation point right here. Feet of creation right here. We're actually a couple removed, but this is close enough. Nice deep breaths in. We're a couple removed because we're still in the earth Gaia vortex, but that's okay. Nice deep breaths in. All right, it is time to go back. We are going to spin ourselves back in. And if you guessed rotation this wise, it's disorienting because now we've turned 180 degrees and we're looking back through the film, right? We went out into space, if you will. We've spun ourselves back around. We're actually reviewing time and we're going to spin ourselves back down the same spiral, but this time we're going to go clockwise down it. All right. And you're going to come back in light. So it's like you can see that thread. It looks like a big spiral telephone cord, if you will, or a big DNA strand with a bunch of midnight flame energy in it, maybe some rainbows. You're going to bring this white light back and through it. It'd also be a big silvery spirally cord. So start swimming, start diving through that cord. You're going to go infinitely fast. Like the moment you hit the go button, it just goes. But let yourself feel that rotation. It may actually feel clockwise for you in this moment. That's okay. There's no right or wrong right here. Or I mean counterclockwise. Nice deep breaths in, spinning all the way up and coming right up to the bottom of our lake as we envision this dome. This is a creation. The lake in our tropical paradise is, we live in literally in bubbles of manifestation. And this one here is, it's actually a temple. When we're looking at this oasis, we're looking at an energy center within our body. It's not just the earth chakra, but it's the convergence point. It's actually our inversion point of where the inversion happens between our bio field and our energetic field. And so it's like we're looking up into what are those things you shake? A globe, right? A snow globe. So as you look in this, what you're bringing through, we just flushed out a lot of dimensional crap out of all those different layers, and we're connecting your current manifest emanation to creation source light. We just did an inversion, and we're going to plug it in. So as you come through up and out of the waters, I want you to feel yourself spinning now clockwise, like coming up out of the depths, right? But as you punch through, there's going to be a moment here where you go from like space into the body. And the moment you hit that body, that's where, like, think of the things that are outside the car wash, those blow up things, and they like flip around because the air is blowing them up. That's really how we are in our body. We come through the center of the earth. Our soul like spins itself up and into form, into physical form to make our body. That's what you're about to do. So as you set this intention right now, I'm in, you're going to come through the center of the earth is really what's happening. And you're going to come into this current manifestation, into this globe of reality inside of your body. And you're going to do this in a clockwise direction. And you're going to bring this brilliant white light. And as it comes through earth, it becomes luminescent. It fractalizes into the rainbow. So by the time you come out of the water, you're just going to see rainbows everywhere, right? So on your mark, three, 1, 2, 3, go. And as you come above the surface, just breathe in the rainbows. Breathe in the rainbows. Nice deep breaths here. This is one of the most challenging techniques. You could repeat this. I have inversion. There's other versions of this on the YouTube stream here. So I invite you to go find those, but we could repeat this meditation 1,000 times over and just practicing in and out between these two fields. There's multiple ways we can do it, but it is the best thing you can do for your soul, like healing 101 right here. And I will say 99.9% of the human species cannot do what we just did right here. Like this is no, and in spiritual realms as well, even if they're practicing quantum and 0 point and all of the spaces. And what is distinguishing it is our use of the midnight flame. We are tapping through the divine feminine, working the Venus temple in a way. We're bringing in some frequencies through your specific soul stream that is highly personalizing this for each of you. And so as you're sitting here drinking in these rainbows, know we are in the center of your field. You cannot be any more landed in the heart of the center of your own connectivity and connection. So feel yourself like deeply anchored, deeply, like you do not get any more anchored than this point right here. And you just gifted yourself that. It is so cool. We're like anchored right. If you want to know where we are, we're in technically your Hara chakra, like again, very dimensionally way in, way in the center of the Hara chakra. Most people don't recognize how nuanced and layered the chakras are. And I don't do a lot of chakra talk because that starts to boot a lot of other systems and teachings that will really confuse the work we're up to here, but we'll just call this the hurrah. And it's right there between the kidneys. Why it's right there is actually very important. Our kidneys are responsible for filtration and fear. And you notice how many filters some of us cleaned out to get to our access point to creation force. In that creation force, the kidneys are filtering blood, right? As this force is now running through your field and your system, your DNA, the blood carries the messaging and the energy and the coding for the DNA. You see how brilliant in conception and design we are, so embedded within the dimensions of the body right now. And yet, when we start to stack the physical layers on top of where we are energetically, it's brilliant in its design. So nice deep breaths in here. I promise some wing activation. I want to have you stand up in this field, in this water. Yep, no more open portal. We close the portal. You can land your feet on that beautiful white sand, walk under the waterfall, let it pour down on your head, and just feel it filling, purifying, cleansing your entire body. And as you powerfully stand with your feet under the waterfall, go ahead and just let yourself rise through the waterfall. Just rise through it. You don't need to know how, just feel yourself rising and then rising beyond it. Rising beyond it and noticing that as you rise beyond it, you are emanating above it. Maybe there are some wings there that are helping you do that, but you are now the sun, right? Like I look to the sky above you, I'm like, there's no sun. You just are the sun. The sun is in you. You are the earth. You are the sun. You are all of this manifest and encapsulated into one. Really cool as you look back down on this incredible space. This is technically your earth chakra. It's 2 feet if it's properly positioned to 10 feet below, depending on the type of work. It's out of position. It's snapped up into our heart, which is epically wrong. We're buried in our root chakra. It gets really out of position sometimes, but right now, just bask in this beautiful, beautiful sensation and feeling. And good work today, everyone. Beautiful. Inversion. Great job. Practice, practice, practice. There are some really basic mechanics we were up to today. Very simply, it's just sock puppeting. You don't have to do, I went really slow, but you don't have to do all of the big jumps like we did. You can just imagine standing at the edge of that portal, diving in and spinning, right? Or you can imagine opening a portal and spinning clockwise. You don't have to start out with, counterclockwise. You don't have to start out with the clockwise, envisioning opening a portal, spinning counterclockwise, letting all of your humanness come off, hitting that star, flipping yourself around, coming back out. It's the easiest way to practice an inversion. There's much quicker ways because we actually have an inverter. So there's quick activation for the inverter. Like I said, we have some awesome, incredible, well-practiced priestesses and high priestesses on this call, and they had their inverters flipped instantly the moment I said what we were doing. So everybody's going to get there, right? We're all going to get there, especially if not only you're new to this space, which I know some of you are here and training in this with me, but for those of you who are just finding this page and this time and checking it out for the first time. So with that, namaste.